Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Awaken Frequency. My name is Teresa Lagunas, and I have my co-host here, Dami Mba. We are here today discussing about fear and how most fear is self-generated. We're just going to jump right into it. Dami, you want to go ahead and get started?
Um, Hello everybody. So it's good to actually be here today discussing this grand topic. Actually, we talk about this on the phone most of the time. We discuss this all the time. Okay. So what is fear actually? Fear is a to me fear is like a survival mechanism. Fear is our nervous system telling us that we should be aware. Like it's like a way of telling us that we should be aware of our environment. Okay. But sometimes that can also lead into limiting us. It can be like a defense mechanism, but it can also be like a limiting mechanism sometimes. So that's why we came to this talk today to actually expand on it and see why we could make everybody understand what fear is. So yes, that's what I could get from fear. So fear could be like if let me say fear is like a survival mechanism one. It can also be like a it also affects our life. It can also protect us. It can also it can be like a protective mechanism one. It can also be like a limiting mechanism too. So you have to strike the balance of what it is actually first. And there's a slight like there's a small slight chance between instinct and fear. You know what I'm saying? Instinct is not fear. You know what I'm saying? We come here with instincts. We don't come here with fear. You know what I'm saying? It's only after trials and trials and trials and trials and trials and programmings and habits that we now actually now start turning all those our instincts into fear. But most of the time, we don't come here with fear. It's based on programming and everything that now we now start learning how to fear based on habits and past records and memories and all those things. We start remembering, we tried this thing that time and it didn't go according to our plan. We shouldn't try it again, stuff like that. So yes, that's my own side of it. We should look at it as what kind of mechanism it is. It could be a protective mechanism. It could also be a a limiting mechanism too. So we should be very careful on how we actually go about it. So that's my own 2 cents on it. So what do you think about it, man?
Wow, very good. um, I like to just kind of add to what you said about fear, and how it affects our day to day and how we create as when the body is feeling fear, we're creating more scenarios of fear. So this is like
Mm-hmm.
showing the importance of why we need to control it in a way, right? If we're really trying to um if we're really trying to create a better reality for self, we must understand how to control our fear and our emotions. If it is our emotions that are running our reality, right? We talk about how we are energy beings, we are electromagnetic, and based on the emotion of the body that we are feeling is what the reality we're creating. And so
Mm.
there's a different layer of why it's important to not nullify, right? Not cancel it out, but understand where the fear is coming
The
from,
thought
which
of it, yeah.
energy,
And
yes, and how do you transcend it so that we can um, not be able to not be repeating the same patterns, because fear comes from, we can say fear comes from things that we came into seeing, but it can also be related to past lives. Sometimes the soul doesn't understand why it's there's a deep rooted fear in, for example, people who fear drowning, and they'll have a past life regression and they'll realize, like, I drowned in my past life and it was so profound that now I
yeah,
know in
yeah.
this life
So
I
the
did
memory, this the
transcend
soul
it.
remembers that scenario, and anytime they get close to water, it keeps replaying things like that. It keeps replaying things
Exactly.
like that.
Exactly. Um, so yeah, so that's kind of how when we talked about fear, that's where my perspective and my perception went to is, um, fear is, it is an alchemy tool too. Fear, it is an energetic experience that I believe that it's made up, right? It's a program that we came here to understand in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, But again, it's important to understand what does fear really create in your reality, and where is it rooted from? Where does it stem from? So not just overlook it, work on it, face it in a way, but don't get attached to it. You know, we
Yeah.
talked about not being attached to certain emotions or certain thoughts that come in that you know they're clearly not yours. You know, away with them.
Just
Don't
label
feel
it thought.
it.
So what I do is
Yes.
sometimes like when I get this kind of so sometimes I'll be sitting down and thought just comes to me. I just be like, okay, that's fine. I just label it thought. It's not mine because you have to know that we are actually we're actually more than what we are. We're actually more than what we've been led to believe we are. Okay. Many souls on earth right now don't currently know what this human journey is, what life is all about. They think is we came here to live, um, rack up titles, rack up money, then die, then go. That's not what it is. It's like an experience. We came here to um, be fractals of everything and experience life through everything. So once you can get from that experience of life through everything, you can now better understand your own view of the whole scenario. Well, let me go into that instinct and fear part of it again. Instinct is immediate. Like now you see a fire burning somewhere here now. It's not like you're fearing it. And it's not like a matter of, oh, I'm fearing in the sense of, oh, if I put my hand near this fire, it really hurt me. You already know.
Mm-hmm.
It's instinct. You already know that if you put your hand there, you burn. You put your hand in the fire, you get burnt. But one thing about fear is imagined. You have to be like, oh, you want to be like this thing, this life we're about to get on now. We could have, I'm sure, before we started doing this, we must have been swarmed with a lot of fear. Like, oh, what is going to happen? Are they going to like this? Was there like if we had fed into that, we would not get into this place. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So that's the imaginary part of what I'm saying. Like it's there. It's when I say fear is self-generated, that is imaginary. People expect it to be like maybe it's not people expect something like oh, if somebody walks into danger, he's not going to have a speck of fear in his body. It's not what I'm saying. It's the ability to know that, okay, this feeling I'm feeling of nervousness is there, but I am confident enough that I will walk through this thing.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And when you now,
That's
so when
facing
you
it
now,
in your
when you now
face.
overcome once you now overcome the doubt, yes, fear creates doubt. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
fear creates doubt in the mind, and anything that comes with doubt is not actually good at all. Doubt is a very doubt eats out on our results. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're working on something and you have doubt, it's like you are already stealing from the future.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because when you are working on something and you are working out of a place of doubt, it's like it doesn't allow you work in your full potential because you're like, oh, this didn't work out for me, this didn't work out for me. So that's what fear does. So that's why that's the importance of nullifying fear. If you nullify fear, you always operate out of your full potential. And when you're operating out of your full potential, that's when you can actually receive your maximum result. That is why we have to understand why we must nullify fear in doing whatever we want to do. You must be brave. Like when I say these things to people, like they look at me like, oh, he doesn't know what he's saying. Like you don't know what you're saying. You've not been put in a place of danger, so that's why you say fear is self generated. No, I have and it's a muscle. You have to keep saying to yourself that no, this thing is not going to hurt me. It's not going to hurt me. I am here. I'm going to do what I came here to do, and I will do it, and I will leave. And you see that most of the times, like 90% of the time, you do what you want to do, and you go your way.
Mm-hmm.
The fear
Mm-hmm.
is just like
And also
the
that
fear is just
anxiety you created, you know.
yeah, you created it yourself. It's like, and that is, and that also stems from identity. That stems from, so people fear that all those things. Fear comes from failure, fear of failure. A kid does not fear failure. A kid just wants to do his thing. But as he's now growing up and starts remembering, like, oh, that time I tried that thing and I did not get it. I remember that my parents did not give me the bicycle that I was meant to get. Then they start. Are you seeing how is? Are you seeing are you seeing how easy it is for us to program these fearless kids
Mm-hmm.
into being fearful so
Mm-hmm.
that we can it could serve our own narrative. So
Yeah.
that's why it's better to understand what fear is and how we could redirect it. Okay. So
Right.
it's like, okay, so let's say I think we've been saying something about canceling fear, nullifying it. I think we should use the word redirect.
Redirect.
Okay.
I like that,
Yes.
right? Yeah,
Yeah,
because
we
we
should use
don't
the
want
word
to
redirect.
nullifying it is dulling it down almost, right? Almost like
Yeah, it's like taking it out of existence, and we know
yeah.
that, like, we already know that that is not a thing in this life. Like, nothing ever really just comes and
Mm-hmm.
ends in one existence, and it has to just finish in its own phase and transition into another thing. You get what I'm saying? It's like an alchemy. It's like an alchemy. So it's we have
Yeah.
to know how to alchemize fear. So
Right. Which is
if
when we
fear
said we
comes
gotta
to,
face it, right? We gotta face
yeah,
it.
you gotta face it. Just
Don't
that
get stuck in it, but face it,
face
understand
it.
it. Because it is
You
through
know,
the fear that you learn something deeper about yourself
through
and how
that.
to
Very
move
true that.
forward, you know?
Very true that. So and there are two, they are very, I would like to say this right here, like one of the two most important emotions in the life in the human body, it's the one of love and the one of fear. So if obviously love creates, fear creates also, because you can imagine if let's I'm trying to give an example now. Somebody's stuck in danger now, and he believes that most people don't know that their body is advanced technology until they are
Mm-hmm.
stuck in a place of danger and they start doing things. But that time, in that moment, time and space, their life is on the line, so they don't pay attention to what they are doing. You know what I'm saying? So their
Mm-hmm.
life is on the line, so they don't pay attention to what they're doing. So they they have all these human abilities that, because their life is on the line and they're not fearing, they get to do it. You get to see somebody being chased, and because his life is on the line, he could leap from a building to another building. But it's only when he gets to that other building, he'll be like, "Oh, what did I do now?"
How did
Then
they
he
do
starts
that?
feeling. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. So it's
In the same
only
story of these are like true stories. I remember hearing how a mother, in order to save her child, she was able to lift the car up to get her child
that's like an
out of
adrenaline.
and then they say for the average person, it's not possible for a woman her height, her weight, to have been able to do that. But in that moment, time, and space, she didn't care about that. There was something within her that rose. This is like the abilities that we have within us. When
Yeah,
you
it
transcend
unlocks it.
all
It
of that,
unlocks it.
it unlocks something within her in that moment, right? Where all what her objective was, I need to get my child out of here. And somehow, again, it was like this incredible story of how this mother saved her child through the adrenaline rush that she received, that she was able to lift this car out. And again, they would say it's not possible for someone like her to do that, yet she showed that it is,
Yeah,
right?
but that yeah, I get what you're saying. But that strength is with her, but just needed that fear to unlock it. Now, there's a way that she can always tap into that strength
So
without
she
having that fear.
transmuted something there.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
what it is,
So,
alchemy. It's the
yes, alchemy.
transmutation of emotions.
True that. True that. Uh, there's another thing. Like I mentioned earlier, when kids come into this life freshly, they come fearless. Like I was watching a video on YouTube couple months ago where they just put newborn babies around snakes,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that they did not fear it, the snakes were just playing with the babies, and the parents of these kids were the ones at the behind, like they were behind the screen and they were watching it. I'm like, you see, and we have to see that these animals, they see our chakra system. So when we are scared, when we are in joy, when you're in happy mood, your animal could see it. The
Mm-hmm. What
animals
we
could see
talked
when
about, how even animals are conscious to a certain level. And
yes,
I'll piggyback on what you said because we did a presentation how we talked about that we are the advanced technology. Human beings, our DNA, our genome, our blueprint is so advanced every single part of us, every organ, every section of how our body functions. It is a complex divine creation. It is the
Yes.
technology. And when you are in alignment with your energy, yourself, you know thyself, you've aligned your chakra system. The chakra system is a real thing. A lot of people still are skeptical and it's a woo woo thing. No, there's real
No, it's not. It's not. It is.
that backs this up. That there we hold certain chakra energy centers in the body, and they go higher and lower than our physical body. It expands outside of this body. We're electromagnetic beings creating our own toroidal field, right? So again, with fear, that's a very strong emotion. And when that fear is overruled in the body, we're creating more fear
You're creating
scenarios.
that timeline. Yeah.
Yes, and also making ourselves sick. When the body is in a constant state of fear and stress, it creates a sickness in the body. And so now we have messed up energy centers, we have distortion in our field, hence creates distortion in our reality. So this is why it's so important for many to understand that the emotions, especially fear, is important to control in a way, right? Because we are all maneuvering energy here. Control your fear,
Yeah.
face the fear,
To
transmute
redirect it,
it,
to understand it.
transmute
Yes.
it. Yeah, understand it and transmute it. So we're not repeating that same pattern. Because me and you had a conversation how, and it's been coming up. We come here to have a human experience, but this human experience requires us to go through suffering and pain. No one
Yes.
here that is here for a soul evolution journey gets a free pass here and just lives this beautiful heaven on earth the entire time and they never
Like
suffer.
to be
They never
human
feel pain, they
to
never
be
cry.
human is to be human is a gift. It's very beautiful. So enjoy it. So like, and when you want to, how do you enjoy something? Is by experiencing all versions of that thing. And how can you experience all versions of something? Is by going the sine wave, the up, the down, the and when you start going like this, it's like people expect life to be like this, one smooth sailing, like I'm just across the smooth sailing, clear horizon. But that's not
Yeah.
how it is. You have to see it for you have to like see it for what it is. Okay, it's very amazing.
That's what I
And
like to say. This world is, we are in a period where we understand that it's polarity and duality. We have a mix of both things, the good, the bad, the dark, the light, the good, the evil, and that's where we face experiences. And just like I believe we are in this beautiful creation, the symphony that is being created still.
it's a grand design.
It's a grand design, yes, and it comes in waves. So we will never be linear. It will never be just one mood, one state of mind. It is constant change because we're supposed to. But in order for us to master this, is to master yourself, is to master your energy, is to know thyself truly, soul level, who you are.
You have to know yourself at the soul level. Like you literally have to know yourself at the spirit man. You have to know your spirit man. You have to know what you are at that level. It's only when you know yourself at that level that's when you stop. You will not want to play small. You can't. When you know what life is all about, and when you see how you've been led to, like, I don't want like I don't it's I don't want to do as if everybody is not doing the work by themselves, but everybody gets to come to their awakening on their own time and on their own pace, okay, and
Yes,
on their
yes.
own level. You can
And
say
that's
it's
important for
unfolding.
everyone to know that, right? Like, you are not late. You are right on time, your own divine timing.
Yeah, you're always
Everybody
like,
is waking up at their own time, you know.
I get it. So what we're going to say again here now? I told
We should,
you
we're already at 20 minutes, I believe.
we had 20 minutes. Well, that's fair. Um, so what's this is first you don't fight fear, you remove imputes. That's it. Like that's where we're going from. So it's understanding the source of it. Like so, if this thing comes, like if you're like anytime you want to speak in public, you have this fear.
Hmm.
Instead of like counseling it, that you have to like, why do you always fear this thing? You go into the knowing of why this happens, and if you work on that, you realize that okay, there's no longer fear of public speaking. That is why I'm saying fear is self-generated. You get what I'm saying? It's like, okay, normally if somebody sees a weapon,
Mm-hmm.
if someone sees a weapon, then the normal instinct is to, like, okay, let's say you don't know what's going on. The normal instinct is to fear. But if that's just security personnel, if that's just security detail, you know what I'm saying? You've already known that okay, that weapon is on your side. You're not going to fear. Are you saying how it's fear is just self-generated?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
somebody comes out to, like, let's say you're out in open now, and someone comes to you with not I'm not trying to give you I'm not trying to say like it's know what's happening. Let's say you're out in the open now, maybe a park, and someone approaches you, and you see the person coming up like, oh, he has like he's had his hand inside here. Your normal instinct is to fear, but once the hand comes out, you know that, oh, the thing that you're thinking, oh, beneath the jacket, oh, you now know that it's just his hand. You're seeing how fear is just self-generated. You get
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So that thing alone can stop you, can make you make a lot of decisions. So someone saying that thing could be like, oh, if he does not want to wait to know why the hand is beneath that stuff, and maybe he's not in a good place, he could start running. He could see how that could spiral into another timeline.
Mm-hmm. That's
And
true.
basically it's not what is meant to be. So that's why and understanding fear and knowing the root cause of it is the first step to redirecting it. That
Mm,
is what I want to say. I believe we've tried in this
yeah, I think that's a good way to
presentation.
put it.
Yeah.
It's a good start for a lot. Obviously, there's many layers to this, right? We can go into different
Yeah.
layers here, but it is a start for many. Is to understand first yourself. I think the most underrated thing here is silencing the mind, going within to understand where does
Yeah.
your fear stem from.
Knowing
Is
that
it
you're not your thoughts, like you're not your thoughts, you are being
knowing
broadcasted
that you're not
broadcasted thoughts every
exactly?
time. Yeah. You
Mm-hmm.
have to know that you're not your thoughts. Thoughts don't come from you. That's what people think. That's the misconception people always get. I think that's going to be our next
Right.
discussion. Thoughts. Where does thoughts come from? Because people really need to understand that. People really need to know where thoughts come from. If you start
They need to
asking
be
that
open
question,
minded, right, to the
yes,
fact that we are broadcasters. Like
we're
we are
broadcasters.
broadcasting energy,
It's a
and a
it's a
lot
it's a
of
broadcasting channel.
mm-hmm,
It's a
I know.
broadcasting field. There is like a for the first field is a broadcasting channel.
There you
So
go.
the more you think about it, and the more you dive into it and see the possibilities of it, you will know how grand you are. You will not want to play small, because
I
then you
know.
always want to reach for your highest potential. And life is actually a very beautiful thing once you know what it's all about. It's not we didn't come here to wake up and go to work and go on. No, we didn't come here to do all that. We didn't come here to
To
do all that.
play, we came here to
Came here to
play.
play and enjoy
We
ourselves.
came here to co-create our own heaven on earth. You know what Joshua's famous quote or very controversial quote is like, the kingdom of heaven is within you. It's on the
Within seek ye
inside.
first the kingdom of heaven, and every other thing will be added unto you. That's it.
Mhm. I know. All
But
right, so we're,
but
we're gonna end it here, my love. We're gonna end it here
baby, let's
so
do that.
that we can upload it real quick. But let's make sure that if you're here watching the replay, please leave us a comment. Let us know what you liked. Follow our Awakened
Follow our
Mentally.
socials.
Yes, follow the socials.
Get
Follow
our
this
books.
YouTube page. Subscribe. Turn on your notification. I'm trying to get better at reminding everybody. Thank you so much for being here.
Visit
It's
the
truly
store.
the store, visit or purchase my ebook. Yeah, I made it super affordable. It's a 7 step guide. But follow the journey and thank you for being here. It's an honor to just really share space here. Here in my
Follow,
beloved.
subscribe, and like, and turn on the notification, because we'll keep churning out. This is just the beginning of so many. We want to invite you guys on this journey with us, because basically this is just the start of something grand, and we want to take all of you here with us. So let's see what this is going to be like end of the year. Don't you think so?
Yes.
So
Yes,
let's
baby.
follow
This
us
is the
and let's see what's gonna
beginning.
happen, okay?
I
We're
know.
going to start this journey together and we're going to be with you guys every step of the way because we're working it. It's a
We're
life
walking a mission now. Mission.
yeah, it's a
Life mission
lifelong journey.
activated, baby.
We're growing together now, okay? So
Mm-hmm.
thank you guys for
Till
being
next
here with
time.
us.